Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer
Hey,
in sparkling HD.
Ooh. Hey, everybody.
Normally there'd be a little like HD thing there at the bottom.
What, with like a logo or something?
Bing, 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 in HD.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we're working on that.
In true Technicolor.
Okay. I'm Lady Ada, I'm the engineer, and we're here with another fabulous, high-tech, high-def adventure.
We got a lot going on.
A lot of stuff going on. We had an awesome show and tell.
Yeah.
Let's jump right in.
Okay.
There's so much to show off today.
On tonight's show, we'll be talking about the show and tell, which was a spooky Halloween edition of the show and tell.
Blinky and spooky.
We'll be showing some art from some folks at Adafruit. Packet the Mailbag's going to stop by. We'll be talking about a contest over at Hackaday to win trinkets. We'll have Maker Business Monday, special video that Lady Ada was in with UPS, the Adafruit Learning System, Wearable Wednesday, 3D Thursday. We got some news about the Adafruit Bluefruit. We got Pi Day. We got new products. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question.
Prizes.
All that and more on Ask an Engineer. Okay. First up, let's pay some bills. The code is BBB, Beaglebone Black.
Not for Better Business Bureau.
No, it's BBB, and that gets you 10% off everything in the Adafruit store. That's in stock, that is. So if you are still...
You want it, we has it, you get it 10% off.
If you're still waiting to do a Halloween costume, you can actually still do it. Choose overnight shipping. With all that money you're saving.
You could wrap like EL or Neopixels around. Like some people just like, they just put like make Neopixel goggles. I made a pair of Neopixel goggles in about an hour. If you know how to solder and stuff, it's not a hard project.
Yeah, and a little programming note here. We're broadcasting in 1080p. This is the highest possible resolution. We are broadcasting on Ustream and on YouTube at the same time. We're using some really advanced stuff. As far as we know, no one else is doing this. I had asked the folks at Wirecast, that's the tool that we use.
You can't get more Adafruit than this.
Yeah, so we're pushing the most pixels possible. We have some pretty beefy internet connections here at the Adafruit factory. We got a new camera, and we have our new sound setup. We have pretty much everything that we want to do. We're waiting for
microphones.
Yeah, we're waiting for the new Apple Mac Pro to come out. And once
the tubular one.
Yeah, once we have that, we'll have more.
Then what?
Well, we'll have more Thunderbolt ports, and if we have that, then we could have a HDMI output overhead and microscope for some other things. Right now, we're just out of ports.
No ports.
What people can't see is we also have a monitor in front of the camera, so this allows us to look at the camera. It's one of the monitors we have
in the store. They're very handy.
Yeah.
HDMI in, very great.
Yeah.
And a little camera mount, so you can like mount it.
Yeah.
So now we're not like trying to like run the show from down here.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So we've invested a lot in the show recently. We've been doing this for 4 years. And mostly it's because everyone out there likes it. And so we're going to keep doing this, and we're going to keep making the show great.
Also, we have to compete with the other 6 live Ask an Engineer / show and tell shows every Saturday night.
No, there's none.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
it's just us.
Turns out not a lot of people want to do a live show for 4 years in a row. We do have Wearable Wednesdays and with Becky Stern, and that's Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern. We have our show and tell, which we just did. We'll get to that.
We also have Manufacturing Mondays with Mosfet.
Not yet.
That's on Cat TV.
Not yet, but soon. Okay, so let's get the show started. Lady Ada,
let's get this show on the road.
This was a special Halloween edition. What was on there? I'm gonna be on the Twitters and the IRCs and all those places.
You do the IRC. Don't forget to kick ban. Okay, Tony showed up he's been doing a lot of work on the CC3000 library, which is awesome. He submitted all these great polls, and like that's the best present you can ever give, is a really good poll. So he got like server stuff working, and he made an Internet of Things candy status meter where you can like telnet to your candy bowl and tell if it's full or empty based on a IR sensor. So that's a really fun project, and he's actually doing something interesting with the multicast DNS. So you can actually telnet to candybowl.local, which is by taking advantage of port 5353 DNS stuff. I mean, like that's like how like a lot of Bonjour works, and like Apple, what's it called, works also, not the Airstream, but AirPlay. But Apple has something like Bonjour, and then there's like the Windows version too. So you can actually connect without knowing an IP address, which is very handy. So if you want to have it as a server, so check that out. Scott made a lovely LED dress for his 8-year-old daughter. It is super blinky. It has lots of modes. There's a little purse thing, and she's going to be in a parade. It's going to be an heirloom. She'll pass it down to her granddaughter one day. Everyone loves LED dresses. Rick made an adorable little robot with like robot eyes, and it's like got these servos, and it's like super cute. And it's his costume, and he's going to make like a telepresence robot. But it looks like very realistic. Not realistic, but it's very human. It's very human.
It's super cute.
Yeah,
I want to like have this little robot.
You just kind of want to pet it. It's
Yeah.
a little robot pet. I don't know if the anthropomorphic. Yeah, it's anthropomorphic. That's the word.
That's a hard word to say.
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
Okay, Lewis showed up with an awesome Ghostbusters light show theme that he made for his house. It's cool. It's got blinky stuff. It's also great. He's going to repurpose it for Christmas, which I think is the best way to know if your project is like well engineered. You can recycle it and reuse it.
That's right.
So it's other people are like, this is a light show for Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then Valentine's Day, and just like through the year, and then like St. Patrick's Day. Now it's green. You just change the color, so that's cool. You use a lot of relays for that. Axel made a cool LED Gemma pendant for his cousin, and he did a really interesting kind of like a sequencer, like a DMX sequencer for the Gemma that he crammed into like the AT-Tiny 85, and so you can like have programs and effects and like colors and saturations, and it looked really good. Scott was an evil mad scientist with like LED Neopixel goggles. He had a mad scientist coat, and he had like a Mac that was a Raspberry Pi. It was like a Mac 512K with a Raspberry Pi, and he had like a pumpkin that was animated and speaking, and there was LEDs everywhere, and it just looked really cool. So check out that video. And then Daniel was recently hired by his hackerspace to make an arcade game, and this is like a sort of a missile command, but more physical. So you have like a roulette wheel, and it's like if you don't press it in time, your town gets nuked. So you have to like nuke other towns and defend your town. I guess I don't know. It's like the Cold War, but for hackerspaces. So check it out. And if you're making a hackerspace video game, let us know because that's kind of interesting. I'd like to see what.
Yeah, one of the things in the show and tell, and by the way, the show and tell is also in HD and instantly recorded and goes to YouTube. You'll see it on youtube.com/Adafruit. One of the cool things, and one of the things I'd like to see, we'd all like to see, is all these hackerspaces are doing these game things like buzzer stuff or wheel stuff, or some way to do scoreboards. So what there isn't is a repository of all these things. And so if anyone's interested in writing up their projects, please let us know because we have the Adafruit learning system and we can get you on that.
What's interesting is that there's like there's all these hacker spaces and they have this kind of like light competitiveness where they're like, oh, I'm going to make a cooler hacker space. This is so much better than like the hacker wars of the 90s where like lives got ruined and like people did way too many drugs. This is like really much more wholesome.
Yeah, I was a member of 2600's hackerspace network, and it was an awesome time. It was cool in my life. But we pretty much just sat at our stations and tried to hack each other. Like we didn't really talk.
You just tried to delete each other's files, which is like not super productive.
Yeah, dropping docs in IRC.
It is just
stuff like that.
Dropping. Okay, it was an awesome show and tell.
Okay, all participants in the show and tell get a as seen on the show and tell sticker.
And if you have a Halloween costume, you can show it next week. We'll have another.
Yeah, we're gonna do it twice.
We'll have two because it's like Thursday, so you can show before or after. Because some people are still working on their costumes.
Yeah, and send an email to support@adafruit.com if you happen to be on the show, because you get as seen on the show and tell sticker. Lady Ada, how do people get on the show and tell?
Get on the show and tell by going to plus.google.com/+Adafruit and find the show and tell thread where we say comment here to get added, and we'll add you to the show and tell circle for that week. And then we'll just have you show up any Saturday at 9:30 Eastern time. It's daylight savings, so whatever it is in New York time, that's 9:30. So if you don't have daylight savings, whatever, just type in current time in New York, 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday. Show up, show off your project.
A little status update on our first giant experiment, dual broadcasting in 1080p on Ustream and YouTube. It's going fantastic.
Okay.
Next up, we'll be doing holograms. That's next week now.
We're beaming into your home.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, I wanted to show this cool project. So everyone at Adafruit, we're up to over 50 people now. Everyone at Adafruit is multi-talented. In fact, we purposely look for people who not only have talents in the job that they do at Adafruit, but also outside. We think that makes a fun place to be, and also interesting people to work with. Angel, who's one of our senior people in the shipping and logistics department, made these shoes for either it was a family member or a friend. We put it up on the blog. Check these out.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, she spent a full intense day on these, and these are comic book Converse.
Yeah, this is Phoenix.
Decoupage, is that the?
Decoupage, yeah. And it's Jean Grey from X-Men, which is Phoenix. I am Phoenix.
Yeah. To look at these. So she did these. John Janier took the photos. We put them up on the Adafruit site, and we sent it over to Boing Boing. They posted it. So that was really neat for her to see that.
This is total Cory Doctorow bait.
Yeah. Yeah. All it needs next is Disney haunted house stuff on there.
Like some sort of brass steampunk thing.
And then when you walk, it has the tour URL install or something. That's that's cool. That's how that you could do the trifecta.
Yeah.
Of Cory stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
If you had a banjo, then maybe Fawnfelder would post it.
Yeah. There you go. Next up, big celebration here on Monday, and this is our YouTube views. We just hit 5 million views and 40,000 subscribers. So thank you everyone out there who's been part of this and watching the shows. Becky has headed up the efforts on YouTube for a really long time, and it's a really big deal.
Yeah, well, how many videos do we have?
Hundreds, 500 something.
Lots.
Yeah, and just around this time last year, I think we were just at 1 million views.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
great work. The next thing is Packet the Mailbag. Here's Packet.
Hello, I'm Packet,
Yeah.
the Mailbag, and I have some news
Yeah,
for you.
every single week on Thursday, we post a letter from someone in the community who's sent us a nice note. And this week is this one.
It's a long note.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if you folks read replies on the of this nature average to this address, but I just want to say, love your company and watch a bunch of your videos. I'm just a spud with electronics, and my skills all revolve around multimedia production, but I think you have one of the best websites around for getting into electronics and working with microcontrollers. Seriously, your tutorials are great and got me into working with Arduino and the basic LED stuff, which has been a ton of fun. Over the years, I spent a lot of time making some sculptures combining polymer clay and some components I got from you fine folks, and a few Arduinos I also got from you too. Basically, they're just fancy one-of-a-kind mood lights for now, lol. Unfortunately, I had to admit I used some overpriced parts from Radio Shack, and as well as since then I have to have here in Chicago at my local. Wish you had a Chicago operation. I'd love to hear what you all think of this video, and you sent the video and the sculptures with electronics I put together. If you, of course, have time. Thank you for being you. Cheers, a fan in Chicago, Jonah.
Yay, Chicago.
Yay, thank you so much. All right, next up. Don't forget, all of this week and all month we had Electronic Halloween. Look on the blog for all the stuff that's going on. Next up, Hackaday has a contest. You can win a trinket. All you have to do is put the Hackaday logo on something.
Yeah.
And
it's called like the Pander to Us competition.
Yeah, and the cool full circle with this is I designed the Hackaday logo and founded the site. So it's neat for me to see all this Hackaday stuff. Yeah.
That's a nice logo.
Yeah, and people are putting it on everything from, they're using electron microscopes to making it really big.
Yeah.
So it's really cute. You can win a trinket. All you have to do is put the Hackaday logo on something.
I think pretty much everyone who enters will win because we gave them like 20.
Yeah. Okay, next up. Big series of articles on the Adafruit site. How to build a hardware startup.
Yeah, this is like one ginormous tutorial. It's like 30 parts.
Yeah, these are from Mark Barros. Mark Barros is an interesting guy. We actually had him here to Adafruit, and he founded a company called Contour Camera, and basically they went out of business or they got smashed in the market.
They're still around.
Yeah.
They're not.
Because of the GoPro.
Yeah, it's just not a huge success.
And he also, and he's written about this, he hired a COO, and the COO got rid of him. So typical startup, but he writes so well, and the business stuff that he's put together, if you're thinking of starting a hardware company, you got to read these. So the topics,
these are really good.
The topics that he had is know your why, have a purpose, picking your co-founders, finding the right market, minimum viable product, pricing your product, creating your brand,
and more.
Picking a brand name, picking the right supplier, deciding to crowdfund, life after crowdfunding, building retail distribution, the cost of retail, building brand awareness, poor quality will kill you, hardware startup metrics. These are fantastic.
Yeah, these are excellent.
You have to read these. In fact, the reason that we had Mark put these on the Adafruit learning system is because we were asked so many times on Ask an Engineer or in person or if we're at an event, some of the same questions. We said, let's just put it all in one spot.
Yeah, we saw the article, and the thing is that there's a lot of really stupid articles about running a company, which always end up just being like, be positive and like work hard, and like it's just like they're platitudes. They're just like, I overcame my my unsureness to start a company, and they're not. I mean, they're okay, but they're just like feel good tutorials. Yeah. This one's actually like there's numbers, like they get into like, okay, this is what your bill of materials is. This is what you're gonna charge to distributors, whether you should go into retail or not. Like he actually went and made every mistake, and most founders make all these mistakes, but they never talk about them like in such detail. And I liked how he's actually like, I totally made this mistake with like quality control or something, and he's like. And what's interesting is a lot of people don't, like I see people who do like, Kickstarters or they start companies and they don't realize that quality control, it kicks your ass if you're not really careful. Like it's very easy to be like, oh, I built one and it works. It's really different building one for yourself and building 10,000 for everybody. And like when we make stuff now at Adafruit, we know we're gonna probably have at least 5,000 people with it. And like nothing beta tests like 5,000 customers. Like you'll have every kind of weird use scenario that you never even expected, and you have to make sure that it's solid, or you have a system for it. Anyway, I thought it was very interesting because he actually touched on this stuff that I try to tell people, and they are just like, oh, whatever, like, that doesn't seem so important.
And, from our point of view, we see so many things behind the scenes and stuff that we can't talk about, but like a general thing that we see is people, they'll get crowdfunding through a Kickstarter, and then they're stuck. They've never done manufacturing. They don't realize how much injection molding costs. They think that you can just call up someone and just get manufacturing done.
They think that once you get it made, you're done. When it's like that's only the beginning. Like, so many people are like, we had a run made, and we basically like lost all the money from that run because like you get like 5,000 or something made, and then it turns out that it's totally broken. Like they totally screwed it up, and this happens so often. Yeah. So all the time.
One of the things that we'll probably be doing, we're gonna have Mark on a special Maker Business Monday Google Hangout. I'm gonna schedule that soon. There's a lot just going on. I eventually want to have maybe a weekly hangout with one guest, and we just talk for half an hour about a business challenge in the Maker.
This is a really good writer.
Yeah, he's an excellent writer.
He's a very good writer. Yeah. He isn't like he actually knows how to tell the story, and I like that he's just like, we totally got our ass kicked. Yeah, like it's cool. Like it's a hard lesson for most people to acknowledge. Yeah, one of the things he said was like, GoPro was like the Red Bull of cameras. They hit the marketing so well, and to be fair, like the GoPro, it doesn't have a screen on the back, and like phones are kind of better, but they've picked one thing, and they did such a good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
All right. Okay. So speaking of Maker Business, Lady Ada, you are part of a UPS case study. UPS came out here not too long ago after we talked to UPS.
You can tell it's from my hair color. It was the last time I had my hair like really pink.
They came out here. We ship so much stuff. We're one of the biggest shippers in Lower Manhattan now, and they decided to check into the Adafruit business, and they liked what they saw so much. They said, "Hey, can we send out our agency, Ogilvy, and Inc. magazine, and do a giant case study?" This video that you're about to see, we have permission to show it. It may be on TV, it may be in all these different places. You'll see it. It's a 3-minute long video all about Adafruit and some great behind-the-scenes things here in the Adafruit factory. So let's watch it.
Adafruit is an electronic tutorial and learning company, and we have a gift shop at the end.
Want to make clothes that light up when you move? Follow along to electrically bedazzle your own wearable project. It's easy with Flora, Adafruit's wearable electronics platform.
We're in Manhattan, in West Soho, and this is a real factory. We're doing real manufacturing here in New York City. I was one of those kids that always took stuff apart and tried to figure out what was inside of it. And so it was sort of natural for me to become an engineer. I have tons of products that I'm designing and developing, and we try to design and develop really interesting, very educational projects that people want, but also when they're done building, they feel a sense of accomplishment.
Recently, as far as numbers, the company has tripled. And that's something that's a little scary, and it's also very exciting.
Adafruit has grown so fast, and the most important thing is that to grow and grow correctly, we need to keep track of our quality, to have really good products. I still do the majority of the engineering and the product design, and I test every product, but I can only do that if I have time every day. And one of the most important things as we've grown is I do less of the day-to-day operations because that's taken care of, and I can focus on the engineering, which is what I'm really good at. When I first started Adafruit, I was a one-person company. I was still running Adafruit out of my apartment, and I was importing a package. I didn't know what to do, but I hooked up with UPS Supply Chain Solutions. They took me step by step through the whole process. We just had a direct line. My rep was always helping me out. Even though I was a small business, I was only 1 or 2 people, they helped me out with any question I had. International expansion was something that was a big deal. We have to be able to get those packages there safely. We have to get them through customs.
UPS surprised us in a few ways. One of the biggest ways is their willingness to work with us as a technology provider. So we built our own shipping system, and we had very specific needs, and they worked with us.
We can have a custom application that minimizes our errors, so we always have perfect orders with no mistakes in shipping, every single item going to the right location. Our inventory is really light. Our end-to-end logistics is taken care of. We focus on innovation every day instead of worrying about logistics.
When you have 24 hours in a day, you can only spend so much time on certain things. So if you're worried about logistics worldwide, getting stuff in your company and out of your company, you can't innovate. You can't be working on the next big thing. Your competitors, who might be bigger, who might be 10 times your size, they can focus on that stuff because they don't have to worry about all the little details.
I actually get to spend almost all of my day engineering, and I love to engineer, so it's really great. I come in and I can basically sit down, do electronics, design new cool kits. This is stuff I wouldn't have time to do if I was dealing with paperwork or calling up customs officials all day. This is stuff that's taken care of right now. It's off my plate, and so I can focus on what I'm good at.
Okay.
That was from, I could see I was working on the CC3000. That was a while ago.
Yeah, and sorry about the echo there, folks. We were using multiple cameras, so it picked up 2 audio things.
Maybe we're still working on
Maybe it'll come out in post, who knows? Live show, live show.
Well, we're working on we just got this camera, so it's got its own little quirks. The thing with the webcam is it didn't do this. Only happens with this one.
No, it did. It's just I was used to stopping it from it. Yeah, complicated stuff.
Okay.
Okay, next up, Adafruit Learning System. Lots of stuff going on here this week. Just one thing before we get started. We have the largest series of tutorials for putting electronics on your pets. Largest.
Yeah.
We're the only ones.
You love Petronics. We got it.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is a TARDIS costume with a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel, and this is from Doctor Who fame. People know, and this is a Flora, and the costume does all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And the dog.
It's like they bought the costume,
has a wave shield,
the sweater on Etsy, and then he embedded it with a Flora and our WS1053 audio board, and so it plays MP3s, and so he uses an audio remote to play different sounds, so it makes like the TARDIS sound, and it plays like Doctor Who theme song and whatever, so that's handy.
Yeah. Okay, and then next up, this is the Trinket audio player tutorial.
Yeah.
And we also have a quick little video.
This was a fun little experiment. Yeah, we were trying to, you can play audio through the Trinket because it has a high-speed PWM output.
And here's the video.
Congratulations! You've just won a new car!
And then we have 3D printed LED goggles. This is from Rick. These are really awesome. Make sure you go and look at the tutorial on learn.adafruit.com because you can see the embedded vine.
Yeah, this is a fork of the Phil B's Kaleidoscope goggle project, which everyone loves. This project is all 3D printed, so it has this a more chunky look. But you can also customize it and have stuff hanging out. I actually like this look a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Next
He's
up,
got the mad scientist thing.
Wearable Wednesday. Every Wednesday we have our show, Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern. We also have all the best projects in the world of wearable electronics. So this week we have a very fast Halloween costume you can put together. This is a EL hoodie. And here is another photo. And
That's Rissa wearing the blue. I like the blue.
yeah.
Blue's good.
And we're going to play a video.
Go for it.
Are you looking for a last-minute Halloween costume that looks like it took forever? Try building a light-up hoodie with EL wire. Perfect for school and office parties or that parade you forgot you said you'd join. All you need for this project is an EL wire starter pack from Adafruit, a needle and thread, and scissors. Oh, and your favorite hoodie, of course. Put the inverter pack in your hoodie's pocket and poke a small hole on the inside for a wire to come through. Plug in the EL wire and stitch it to the hoodie along the inside of the zipper with a whip stitch. This way you can adjust how much shows by adjusting the zipper. Continue whip stitching the EL wire around the inside of the hood and then back down the other side of the zipper. If you have extra EL wire at the end, just cut it off. You can make your hoodie extra fancy by trying out Adafruit's flowing effect EL wire, or switch out your inverter for a sound activated one so the light thumps to the music. Boop, 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 boop. It's pretty cool. And you can share your Halloween projects with us online using hashtag Electronic Halloween, or make an appearance on our weekly show and tell on Google+. Subscribe for more videos from Adafruit, and we hope that your Halloween is safe and glowy. Bye!
Okay.
What I like about Becky's projects is like she wanted to do a thing where at the beginning of the month the projects were like more detailed and complicated, and then as the month goes on it's like, here's projects that you can do in the time remaining for this Halloween. So instead of having like a huge project like this week, it's like, here's a project that'll take you a half an hour and has no soldering involved. You know?
Yeah, that's cool. Next up, this sort of goes into the wearable Wednesday category. I didn't really know where to put it because we have so much stuff going on in the show. You know how Sears used to do like family portraits and like everyone would like be like this and everything and wear sweaters? Well, we did a family portrait of the Neopixels. So
it's
these,
a glamour shot.
Yeah, so John Jr. took this photo. This is the Neopixel in strips and sewable in different densities, rings. We also had a little bit of a preview.
Super preview.
Of the 24.
And 12. Yeah, because the prototypes were done. They're still waiting for the PCBs to show up.
Yeah.
So we have the 12 and 24 up here, even though they're not available yet. But they'll be available soon.
Yeah, and we did another special video just about Neopixel, so we wanted to play that tonight.
All right,
here.
let's get glowy. Hey everybody, it's me, Lady Ada, again here to show off a fun new glowy product. Today I'm going to be talking about Neopixels. Adafruit Neopixels are available in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, such as flexible strips, circles, squares, shields, and even sewable pixels. Adafruit Neopixel strips are both weatherproof and super flexible, available in 30, 60, and 144 LEDs per meter. Perfect for making these sweet, glowy kicks. We also have rings in 12, 16, and 24. Sewable Neopixels can be sewn onto any fabric with stainless steel thread and controlled with a flora. You can make your own custom Neopixel display with our 8x8 matrix, 8 LED stick, or Arduino shield. Also available in individual breadboard-friendly pixels. This sound reactive tie has 16 sewable Neopixels in it. These Neopixel earrings are made with the 16 LED rings. The best thing about Neopixel is how easy it is to use. No PWM drivers, you don't have to do crazy wiring or multiple microcontroller pins. All the Neopixel uses one Arduino pin, it's all cross-compatible, it's easy to use, you'll be ready to go in 5 minutes. We've got a great learning tutorial on the learning site with all the details you need to know, everything you want to know about Neopixels. Each Adafruit module is designed, manufactured, tested, and shipped out of the Adafruit factory here in downtown Manhattan, New York City. So if you would like to add a splash of color to your next project, check out all the Neopixels in the Adafruit shop.
Okay, and we're on to 3D Thursday.
Fast.
Yeah.
I like those videos because he's like, there's this slider action, like Andrew loves this slider.
Yeah. So 3D Thursday, we have another quick project we wanted to talk about, and then also an update. So 3D Thursday is going to be half Bluefruit, half 3D printing stuff. So.
I know, the Bluefruit's not 3D printed, but it is used in this project, and because it's used in this project, actually, there was an update, because as they were working on this, they said, oh, you know, the lag time, the latency between pressing a button and the key showing up on the computer was like 100 milliseconds. So we went back and we refactored a bunch of the code, and we recompiled it in a couple different ways. We got down the easy key latency to 30 milliseconds, which is as fast as it's going to get. And it doesn't really, I don't think it can get any faster, but that's near instant. Fast enough for, as you'll see, you know, drum machine synthesis. And we also added mouse support, because people were asking about mouse support. So you can now connect the Bluefruit buttons to mouse buttons, and also mouse up, down, left, and right movement. You can see the documentation for more details.
Yeah, and Bluefruit is the best maker-friendly Bluetooth in the world. We have a whole series of Bluefruit products coming out. The Easy Key HID is the first one. We're going to have a lot more.
Awesome.
They're FCC and CE certified, and you can just pop it in your project, and within minutes you can be using
and
Bluetooth.
Data approved.
Yeah. So that being said, the 3D Thursday project we wanted to share is a 3D printed, Flora-powered Neopixel Bluefruit guitar. So let's take it. Take it away, Ruiz Brothers, Pixel 3D.
Here's an open source, 3D printed MIDI controller powered by Bluefruit, Adafruit's wireless Bluetooth module. Playing music is always fun, but jamming out with your own custom-built instrument is even better. First, we'll need to remap the keys on the Bluefruit, using the step-by-step guide on Adafruit's learning system. Next, test out the buttons you want to use, and customize the enclosure design. The files are on Thingiverse. Print out the 4 parts in PLA. We're using neodymium magnets for the back panels. You can superglue them in for a secure fit. Next, assemble the 2 frames. Make sure to test the tolerances for your buttons and mount them into place. Test out all of the components using alligator clips. The Flora microcontroller will power the audio mic and 4 Neopixels. Measure and solder the wires for all of the connections. Now you're ready to shred and jam out. Channel your inner rock star with the DIY open source MIDI guitar. It's a break away from the square buttons on a grid. Thanks for watching.
All right, excellent project.
He's got a great little announcer voice of it.
Yeah. So that's the Ruiz Brothers, Pixel 3D. They're working on a lot of cool projects.
And the tutorial they have online is excellent.
Combining 3D printing and electronics together.
Yeah.
And more. So this little graphic that's zooming off to the side, for the month of October we did Pound Make the World, that's a little hashtag, and it was a month-long effort with Google about getting prosthetics to people in need around the world. We just had the last hangout, it was 1 hour long, and it is incredible. There's a fellow, it's called, I think, Imove, this robot from France, and it's 3D printed. This guy knew nothing about electronics or programming, and he has a humanoid robot he talks to, and it moves around. And then there was another fellow, a young person, 17 years old. They started when they were 14, and they have a giant robot arm. And then there's the RoboHand project. There's Hands for Africa. There's the Lucky Fin project.
I like the 3D printing Providence party where they had 25. They had like 25 3D printers all printing out RoboHands to send to the Hands for Africa.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And really cool series of stuff, and we were pleased to be part of it. Google approached us because we have a really big community, and they said, you know, would you be interested in doing a weekly hangout? And so we did that. Watch them all on Adafruit, youtube.com/Adafruit. Okay. So next up, Pi Day.
Pi Day.
Zip it along here. Pi Day. So every week in the world of Pi, we try to share something cool. So the big news, and I guess we'll have to apologize. We didn't know, but we have our the Pi Noir cameras came in.
Yeah,
now,
I didn't realize we weren't supposed to put those in yet.
Yeah, we didn't know that we weren't supposed to put it until Monday.
We
but
didn't
anyways,
know. Sorry.
Yeah, so we're going to go over that with the new products, but that's the big news. It's a IR camera for Pi. Okay.
We'll be more careful next time. Usually we get stuff so late that I assume that it was already out everywhere else.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to be in until Monday, but you can order them right now.
You can order right now.
The Pi folks said we didn't have to take them out, so
Okay.
they just said, oops. Before we start new products, don't forget, code is BBB. That gives you 10% off everything in the
Triple
Adafruit
B.
store. So, Lady Ada,
Yeah.
get ready. It's new product time.
I know. Okay, you
ready?
take my mug.
Okay. All right, first new product.
Okay. Oh, it's so glowy. Actually, I can't show this on the overhead.
These LEDs.
These are.
Okay, careful not to unplug their entire
yeah,
circuit.
no, that's why I'm like super careful.
All right, these are these segments.
Yeah, these are LED sort of rectangles.
Yeah.
I guess you'd call them. Hold on, let me plug in these so that they're live and blinking. Okay, so normally we have other pixels. We have like big pixels and round pixels, and these are like rectangular pixels. So each pixel is on a strand, and they chain together, and they use the WS2801, which is an SPI LED driver. And the nice thing about the SPI LED driver is you can drive it from like any microcontroller or microcomputer. You can actually drive off of like a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino or an Arduino or a PIC or like any device, because it's a very basic bit bang, no special timing requirements really. It's a 24-bit color. You can kind of see the color of his reflect. It's very bright, so you have to see it reflected off of me.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is there's three really bright LEDs, and they're sort of waterproofed in this plastic thing with these. There's this tape on the back that's very good for sticking, and also little mounty tabs, so you can like hammer or screw them into place. And they come in a set of 21, not 20, because I thought they would make for kind of cool like 7-segment display. You can make like a 7-segment type thing. I don't know, like can make like a 4-segment here, but you could make a sign. So I was like, okay, well, if you're making a 7-segment, you may want to make 3. So there's 21 LEDs per strand, and you need like 9 to 12 volts DC to power them. But they're kind of fun, and they're like just an alternate shape because we had squares and circles and dots, and we wanted to have something a little bit better. It's also maybe good if you want to make like cove lighting, something that's like an underlit where it's thin, because the wide triple LED gives it a little bit more like light, sort of in the lengthwise direction.
Yeah.
So anyway, super
Do you
fun.
want to see what happens after we place them over the overhead? I just want to see.
I guess so. We could try.
Yeah, just see what happens to this. That's a webcam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see the 3 LEDs in the driver chip.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they're chained together about 3 inches apart, and then these are the mounting holes. So, yeah, you can't see the whole strand, but you can sort of see how each one is changing color.
All right. Moving right along. Right. Okay. So this is basically the star of the show tonight, besides you, is this BeagleBone case.
Starring the BeagleBone case.
This is our second beautiful case. This is for the BeagleBone Black, and it is amazing. If you have a BeagleBone Black, this is the best case.
This is the best case.
Adafruit design.
We thought really hard about it.
Designed by Mike Dole again. He's the one who did the first case, the very popular Raspberry Pi case. He is back.
He's back.
And he's doing
Ready for
the
more.
BeagleBone Black case. So
Okay,
here's a couple more photos. These are all photos by John Janier. Now everyone knows why the code is BBB.
BBB, BeagleBone Black. You can put a BeagleBone Classic in, but like the micro SD slot's different, so it doesn't really work. So I don't suggest it, because some people will probably go, I have a BeagleBone.
Okay, so
non-black.
we're going to the overhead, Lady Ada.
Okay, so let me kind of give me a little bit more space here. So yeah, so it's got a clear top and a black bottom, and here it snaps together very nicely. And there's these little mounting holes on the bottom too, if you want to mount it to something.
I'm gonna unplug this.
Oh yeah, so go.
Can you just unplug it?
Yeah, you can unplug it, but then I want to keep this for later.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the BeagleBone Black, and there's the 4 holes. And so you line it up like so, and it just press fits in. Like that. It just snaps in place, and now that's it. It's snapped in place. You don't have to use any screws or anything, and it's like super secure. Like, it's not coming out. Like you can pull it out if you are, you just wedge it carefully. You pull carefully, but for the most part, you shouldn't have to. And then
mounting holes on the back.
Yeah, there's mounting holes on the back, and there's actually a lot of clearance, so you can use something metal. Man, it's really hard to see because it's so dark. Black thing on a black case, so you can see there's mounting holes. So you can like mount on a wall or something. We're not sure. We kind of thought like, oh, let's add it because it's not hard to add it. And then you know, you can, the nice thing about this case that we designed it, you can use it without the top, so it sits securely, and you can fit a cape on top. I don't want to press this cape in too much because it will be hard to remove, but even when you press it all the way down, the cape doesn't hit the sides because the sides are right below where the edge is of the, kind of see maybe on the photo you can see it a little bit better, but the headers end right below the side of the case. So you can plug in, you know, really large capes if you want. It won't be a problem. And then, you know, if you want, you should probably snap the top on. Yeah. And this top snaps on. It's got this kind of cool, modern, squarish shape. We went with a rounded shape for the pie. We wanted it to look different. Yeah. So the pie is kind of like this sort of soap dish. This is very like rectangular. Yeah. Like, you know, super flat.
We're moving towards the flat design, like iOS 7 for our cases.
And you can access the port, DC, USB, Ethernet, and then on the other side you've got the USB host, micro HDMI, and then a micro SD slot. And we put it like a cutaway so you can push and pull the micro SD very easily. Yeah. I'll also show on the...
So the other thing, just one quick, I want to back up just a little bit for one question.
Let me open this up.
For the LEDs, are these waterproof or weatherproof?
They are weatherproof. I wouldn't put them underwater for extended periods of time, but they can get wet. They're meant for outdoor use. Yeah. Like they're epoxy coated. You might be able to put them underwater, but I don't think they're rated for that. Anyways, okay. And you can pop the top up. Oh, can you go back to the photo of the beagle bone from like kind of the side so we can see?
The side? This side? This side?
That one, yeah. So in this photo, you can see how the headers stop right at the side. The side of the case stops right at where the headers are. So you can still plug capes and stuff onto it without removing it from the box. Okay. And then you can still get to the reset buttons and to the power LEDs. So we made it to be very cape friendly. So I don't know. I think it's a really good case. It does everything case you'd want, and I really dig the black bottom and the clear top. Yeah. The clear top lets you see the LEDs.
How much clearance is there, folks want to know, from the top of the headers?
It is exactly like at the headers.
At the headers.
It's exact. So when you plug in the male headers, the PCB will be like right above it. It's kind of hard to see with the black. Once I plug this in, I can't remove it. So you can take a photo from the overhead.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's right at the edge, so you can see the PCB here, and then there's like maybe like 1 millimeter, and then the side of the case. So this is really meant to, like, we designed it to be like just enough that you could put a cape on top, and it would be fully protected. Okay. But the PCB can extend beyond, because I know there's a lot of like really big like LCD plus motor driver plus like whatever. Yeah, battery connector.
Okay, next up. It's a chip.
And we'll probably try to get the CAD files for this up too, just so people have an idea of what size, shape it is, with dimensions and stuff. This is the 1 megabyte flash chip. This is from the Trinket audio tutorial. It's kind of cool. It's SPI flash. It's solid state. It's 1 megabyte. So it's a lot more than most EEPROMs, and it's really easy. We have a tutorial for it. It's just SPI. It's like super easy to read and write, and it's extremely fast. So yeah, we used it for, you can save audio clips to it and then play them back on the AT-Tiny85. We could do the same with an Arduino too, but kind of handy when you don't want to, you don't want a whole SD card. This is a lot more stable than an SD card, but you can't plug it into a USB drive.
Next up,
trade-offs.
I'm going to show the photos first, and then we can get to them. We have the best, lowest cost, and that's low cost as value, battery packs. We've been looking forever for battery packs that could power all of your mobile electronics and things that maybe shouldn't be mobile, but you need a beefy battery pack. So we have a giant box of batteries that just weren't good enough, weren't up to our specs, and as you can see, these power the Pi.
Yeah, I like these. These ones have a really good current output, which I like. Yeah. A lot of them, it's like you can maybe get, we replaced the one that was only 500 milliamps. So the small one can do 1 amp, and the big one can do like 2 times 2 amps. So it's 4 amps total. It's actually quite a beast. So yeah, this is the big one, and this is the little one. And they're good. I like them. I mean, I tried these out. They charge at 500 milliamps or 1 amp.
iPads
input 1 amp for the for both of them. So you can charge them from wall adapter or actually a USB port.
Yeah.
A computer USB port will do the job too.
It's hard to do mobile Pi stuff because the Pi requires a lot of power.
Yeah, that's what I like about this is that this can run the Pi. The only thing is that you can charge and draw power at the same time, but when you plug it in, there is a blip in the power supply.
Yeah.
This is I couldn't find any that didn't have this. This is sort of
that makes sense.
the
Well, you probably shouldn't be doing that anyways.
They're not meant for. They're not designed for engineers. They're designed for like you charge it at your desk and then you take it out. But the big one can charge an iPad, and the small one can charge like iPhones and stuff as well as electronics. But
and
what I got
devices.
what I got it specifically for, actually, it's interesting. People are like, I want to use it with the Pi as a UPS, and I was actually intending it more for like standalone robotic stuff where you want it to run for a very long time on a battery pack. But also people who wanted to do portable LED projects where they had like Neopixel strips, and Neopixels take a lot of current, and so they wanted to run those projects portably, especially for like get costumes or like Burning Man or an event where they want to attach to their bicycle or a car or something. So this is what I like that this one could give you 4 amps at 5 volts, which is a really good amount. Yeah. And this one is good for smaller projects. So I think these are really nice. They're quite handy. The small one has 1 USB port. The big one has 2. They have a little indicator, tell you how much they're charged. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Button, turn it on.
Moving right along. One of the other stars of the show tonight is the new Pi Noir camera. This is an IR camera for Raspberry Pi. So
yeah, I think I'll just talk about it because it's basically these photos are really much better than showing it on the overhead. It plugs into a Raspberry Pi, and it doesn't have the IR cut filter. So there's a little pink piece of plastic that's normally bonded on top of the camera sensor, and that's been removed in this case. And so it can take photos. If you flood the area with IR light, we have IR LEDs in the store. You can buy an IR lamp. You can flood the area with IR, so you can do night vision. Also, there's with the blue filter, you can do hyperspectral images. It comes with a little piece of blue plastic. I'm not exactly sure the software you need, but with the addition of some software, you can actually take like what you would normally see from IR film, where it's like you have these really cool red effects, like it's red and yellow and blue. It looks a little bit interesting. So you can do that effect as well. But it's basically just like the Pi camera without the filter, and it's black, so it makes it easier to tell which one you've got. Because if you try to use this for normal color people, video, and photography, it won't look right.
Yeah, and this is an official Pi product, and I think we're the only ones selling it this second.
We are accidentally the only ones selling it. So if you want it before next week, you can get it from us.
All right, next up.
Sorry.
I got a few more to go here, Lady Ada, so we gotta.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We gotta go.
We're going.
All right, next up. This is a giant distance sensor.
This is a kind of a freaky distance sensor.
Yeah, it's huge.
What's funny is I didn't realize how. I mean, I counted the data sheet, but I didn't see how big it was. It is way bigger than I thought. Yeah. But it's also kind of neat. So. I'll show
to the overhead.
Bam.
Look at this thing.
It is ginormous. So this would actually be a really good robotics sensor. So there's the way it works is that it emits pulses of light and then measures them bouncing back, and so it's basically a distance sensor. And a lot of people have used sharp distance sensors, and this is just like the big Bertha of distance sensors. So this is the largest one that Sharp made. It is a 1 to 5 meter range. And what I think is that you can also use sonar at this range, but what I like about this is that sometimes, especially if you have audio or something, you'll actually hear the sonar like feedback into your audio system. Or I've just seen situations where people don't want to use sonar. IR works really good for that. This is a really nice little IR sensor. It's analog and it's 5-volt power, so you power it from 5 volts. And then the green wire, like the middle wire here, is an analog voltage from like 1 volt to 4 volts or something. And then you can look at the data sheet for analog to distance. But it's really simple. It's like you don't need an analog input, but there isn't any I2C SPI interfacing or anything. It's just like you read it, you're ready to go. So I don't know, if you have a robot and you want to measure from 1 to 5 meters, you don't want to use sonar, or maybe you want to have both sonar and IR for some reason. Yeah. Both will do the job quite nicely.
It wants to be robot eyes.
Yeah, it's got like these big eyes.
Yeah, okay. Next up. Lady Ada, look at this. Look at these. These are a little cute. They're little tiny, they're Pi shorteners.
Pi shortening.
Pi short SD card holders. So this is, and they're also great for MacBook Pros. We have a photo, so if you want to
Yeah.
pop them in, they
Well,
go
it's
right
funny
in.
because people, I don't sound like MacBook Pro accessories, but a lot of people were asking whether the other Pi adapters that we sell would be good
Yeah.
for it, and I'm like, no, but these are.
Very good for cases, including ours.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So I'll show this. So this is a standard SD card, and this is the shorty SD card holder. So you can see it's like, I think I even measured it. It's like 8 millimeters shorter, and it's not like crazy shorter, but it's short enough that it can make a case not stick out. It can stick out a lot less in a case. And so normally you feed the micro SD card in from the bottom, and in this case you feed it from the side. So that's what makes it short. So you can kind of, well, you snap it in like this, and it's flush. And yeah, so it's basically just an SD card adapter, but it's super short. And there's this little ridge, which is like super smart. So you can pull it out, especially if you put it into a MacBook. It's like nearly flush. So it's like, oops, sorry. It's nearly flush. So it's like, focus.
You can bring it up. Well, no, I mean bring the object up.
I know. Okay. Well, I'll just show it over here.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Well, yeah, you can use this. I personally like using it for Raspberry Pi stuff. So, for example, if you have our Pi case or any other case where this slot is doesn't have any clearance on the bottom, this will definitely fit. And
Look at that.
it fits like totally flush, and like nothing sticks out. So some people really like that.
Okay.
Also, if you have a Pibo, this Pibo actually has a cutout, but a lot of the Pibos don't. They don't have a cutout on the bottom. This will fit in, and then it sticks out only like a teeny little amount, only like 1 millimeter. So that can be really nice. Some people just, they don't like the normal SD card slots. A normal SD card slot like sticks out that much, and if you don't like that, this is your,
and at a great price. Okay.
It's short.
Next up, these batteries are tiny. Look at these cute batteries.
This is so cute. Yeah, I already lost
The code
it.
should have been tiny or something, but it's still
Where's
BBB.
where's the battery?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, here it is. It's so small.
You lost the battery. It's too small.
It's too small.
Too small.
Yeah, it's just super teeny. It's I actually ordered 100 milliamp hour batteries, but they sent me 110. So I don't know. Maybe you get 10% more. They're just super teeny batteries. We have 150 milliamp hour batteries in the store, but these 110s are a little slimmer. I think they might go well with a trinket, for example, for pairing a trinket, because like, let me grab a trinket off of this PCB. You know, they can kind of fit like maybe underneath or something. I don't know.
That's cool.
I don't know exactly what.
Yeah, you can power a little trinket.
You get a little trinket power, and it's just super slim. So I don't know. I didn't order it for that reason, but after I was looking at it, I was like, oh, you know, it's about the same size as a trinket. So yeah, super cute, very slim. Another battery option. We're gonna get one more battery.
Could it power something like a Bluefruit?
Yeah, it could be something for stuff that's like, you know, low current. And we have the micro lipo charger because you want to charge these at 100 milliamps or less.
That's exciting.
But it's a great little rechargeable battery, and you can cut these wires. You can cut and trim if you need. They're a little bit long, but we decided to make them longer rather than shorter. But they add a little bit to the weight. They're also quite light. Like the weight of this thing is the wires, not the battery. The battery weighs like maybe 1.5 grams.
Okay.
Super lightweight.
All right. And last but not least, a new board from Adafruit, the resistive touchscreen controller. This is cool.
Oh, I left this on the photo table.
That's okay.
That's okay.
There's photos of it here.
This photo.
Yeah. What is this product, Lady Ada?
This is a product that's kind of weird because it's like, well, like you don't actually have resistive touchscreens in the store of that size, but we will. This is the STMP 610. This is a resistive touchscreen controller. So resistive touchscreens are analog touchscreens. They require 2 or 4 analog inputs, usually 4 analog inputs. They're kind of a pain. They're completely passive, so you have to pull them. There's no like electronics inside. That makes them really easy to use in some cases. Like you don't need, there's not a lot of complexity. But if you want to have like interrupt-based or background reading, basically if you just don't want to, if you don't have to sit there and like pull them constantly and do analog readings, having an assistive chip helpful. This STMP 610 is a really great chip. It supports I2C and SPI. if your microcontroller doesn't have analog inputs, or you don't want to use your analog inputs for this purpose, this chip kind of does everything. And it's like super precise, and it's like custom designed exactly for this purpose. So it's really, really good at it. And yeah, it just has an interrupt output. It's really powerful. I'm going to be using this chip in a couple of future products, so having a breakout is handy for me and also maybe handy for other people. So yeah, hopefully we'll be adding support for this to the Raspberry Pi. Right now we have example code. Oh,
Drop
we
the
have
case. Hey, you know the case doesn't shatter when it falls. It's perfect.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
it's polycarb.
That was part of the live demo that we had planned tonight. All right.
There's like so much stuff on my desk here.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's a handy resistive touchscreen controller. If you happen to be doing stuff with resistive touchscreens, you understand how annoying they can be to interface. So check this one out. I like it a lot more than the other options. I tried a lot of other options.
And that was new products, Lady Ada.
It was it?
It was.
Okay.
Okay.
I have these LEDs.
All right.
Can I light these LEDs?
So we're going to
again?
answer some questions right now.
Can I light up these LEDs again? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can light up some LEDs. Do you want to light up the not out yet one?
No.
Okay. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's question time. Do we sell resistive touchscreens?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We do, but not one with that size. We have a small one, which you can use an adapter with. But we will be. And I just wanted to get this out ahead of time because it's still useful.
Did you look at Microchip's touchscreen controller?
I did. The AR1100. It's a nice chip. It would be great if I had a breakout board for it, like I will next week.
Ooh.
It's
Okay.
different though. That's a USB one.
Okay. Will you be able to talk about projects on the QB board too?
I've not used the QB board too, so I don't know. I'm festive.
John Janier is asking, how did we get the background out of focus? Did we use Photoshop? Every frame of this show is individually Photoshopped. It takes days to render.
What's out of? Is it out of
background.
focus?
Yeah.
Is it in focus or out of
Okay.
focus?
No, out of the
Understand.
background, because it
Yeah.
looks cool, because we're in focus, and then it's like, this is like professional.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Next
F-stops.
up.
Infinite-sized lenses.
Can the Bluefruit boards bond to each other?
No, HID is, you need a computer to translate the HID to keyboard. So this particular Bluefruit is a client only. You have to bind it to a computer that has the ability to have like a HID Bluetooth keyboard, which is pretty much like every single computer ever known to man. We might have future Bluefruits that can do like pair-to-pair. It's only point-to-point though. They do not do mesh networking at all.
Yeah. All right. What are our Halloween costumes this year?
This, I'm going as a LED stick. No, I'm going as new products.
Yeah. For Halloween, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be a very happy person as my thing.
That's
for
true.
Halloween. Yeah. Okay. Next up, where do you get those clear acro bins from? Are they Uline?
You can get them from anywhere.
Yeah.
You can Google for like clear acro bin, or translucent acro bins.
Yeah. Next up, for board cleaning, for after reflowing, what do you suggest, and what do people do out there?
You know, I don't know. There's normally you have to use deionized water. If you use no clean, you can just use a cleaner. I don't remember what cleaner we use.
Okay.
It's like some complicated name.
Okay.
You just use no clean.
Next up, can any of your 7-inch Raspberry Pis display be battery powered? Maybe with a SLA.
Yeah, the 7-inch displays, the HDMI one, I know for sure you can power off of 5 to 12 or 24 volts. So you can definitely power it off of a 6-volt battery or 12-volt battery. And there's a buck converter inside, so it's pretty efficient.
Yeah. Next up, do you know any good resources for learning assembly language, AVR, and/or x86?
There's a good AVR assembly tutorial on AVR Freaks.
Yeah. Also, someone posted up
That's like their how to start.
AVR-ASM-tutorial.net is good. John Jr. posted that.
Okay. Well, there is the AVR Freaks Getting Started guide is actually all in assembly, which I remember I saw like 10 years ago, and I was like, guys, like this is people aren't going to learn assembly. But the AVR assembly is pretty good and way better to learn than x86, which is really CISCI and super complicated.
Yeah.
I would not learn that as your first assembly language.
Next up, for mouse control with Bluefruit, would it work to connect to joysticks, potentiometers, pull to ground, or will I need an interpreting microcontroller to pull the Bluefruit pins low?
It does not have analog inputs for a joystick. So, I mean, if it's a digital joystick where it's just like left or right, like an arcade joystick, that will work. That'll work really good. But if it's an analog potentiometer style, you'd have something to do analog input because there's no analog inputs on the Bluetooth module. It's digital
Yeah.
only. It's like on or off.
Okay. Next up. Oh, C is for capacitor. We've just been super busy with new products.
You've been updating this and new products.
Yeah, so now that the show is pretty solid with all of the video stuff, and Colin is almost wrapping up our new game that's coming out, which has all the Circuit Playground characters, hopefully very soon. Next up, can you link several LED strips together?
Yeah, as many as you want.
Okay. What's our best-selling product? I would say, because it gets spiky, like Trinket's doing really well right now. We're selling tons of Trinkets. Next up, can we
Neopixel
can we make a Trinket with the AT Tiny 84?
It's possible, but I don't. That's not what we're probably going to use, just because, you know, it's like the 85 kind of and the 84 are similar enough. I think after that, you want to have something a little bit more powerful.
Yeah. Next up,
not a little bit more.
How could I read tweets to an @ with a CC3000? Can you read tweets?
Can you read tweets?
Yeah. Could it go out?
I believe, we use it in the Gutenberg. I think it supports the Gutenberg type script, which uses the new Twitter API. I think that barely fits. But you'll have to adapt it yourself. I don't know if we did the finishing code.
Can YouTube videos run on a Raspberry Pi? Yeah, I think they can. Right?
I think you can.
I know what people do with it.
I think if it's HTML5 and it's not Flash.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You probably can.
I know it plays videos great because we've watched videos on it.
You can watch. Well, yeah, you can watch videos on HDMI. I'm assuming YouTube. Well, you know, I installed Rasp MVC and I was watching videos. I don't know if they were YouTube, but I was watching I was watching movies, trailers, and stuff off of it.
Yeah.
It seemed to work fine.
Okay. That's it. So those are the questions. All right. Do you want to show anything else? Okay.
No, it's 11. We got to finish.
All right. Got to wrap it up. Okay. It's trivia question time. Lady Ada, what are the rules?
If you've won a fabulous prize, you can't win another fabulous prize.
Yeah.
The first person to type in the correct answer into the chat wins the prize. What is the prize today? Do you want to be
the prize is going to be a
battery? LEDs?
Strand of the LEDs.
You get a strand of LEDs.
Yeah, that's a good prize.
That's a nice prize. You don't have to have a beagle bone. Otherwise, everything else is like, oh, you have to have something for it.
First person to type the person's name in the chat wins. What famous U.S. engineer, best known for open source hardware, birthday is tomorrow? So type in the chat. Yeah. Famous open source hardware engineer.
You have to go to opensourcehardwarebirthdays.org.
Yeah.
I think there is a site.
Yeah. So, well-known engineer.
There's only 400 different open source hardware engineers.
Yeah. So whoever types it in. Don't forget the code is BeagleBone Black. Oh, Jay Jones, congratulations, you got it. It's Lady Ada, it's your birthday tomorrow. Congratulations. Yeah. Yay! Happy birthday.
Yay.
So Jay Jones, email support@adafruit.com, and you win the strand of LEDs.
You get LEDs. That's what I wanted for my birthday. So you're getting my birthday present.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
Nice
everyone in the chat, please wish Lady Ada a happy birthday.
Wow. You're really putting on the pressure.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I'll show these rings.
Okay, see? Look at this. Now she's going to do it. It's not out yet. Don't ask.
Well.
But only if there's lots of happy birthday wishes in there.
Wow, you're just.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got it. This is complicated, though.
This is complicated?
Yeah, because I pulled out the trinket. And where it went. Here you go. It's here.
Okay.
Yeah, these were the LED rings.
Yeah, okay. So, wow, we're going to overtime now. Whew, it's top secret. It's not out yet. Don't ask.
Well, you made me feel bad. Because everyone's like being nice and being like, happy birthday. I'm like, oh man, I got to do something nice for you. Oh boy, wait, this is complicated.
Well, while Lady Ada continues to work on this, so I'll tell you what she is going to demo. So we have some new Neopixel products coming out. Some of you saw it in the Neopixel video, and some of you saw our photo.
I don't know if this is working.
Yeah?
Hold on. Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Hold on. I know I did wrong.
Yeah, this is...
This gets complicated.
Yeah. I actually don't know how you're able to always do this. Like you can wire up, you wire up stuff so fast sometimes.
Okay, hold on. Okay, now it's working, I think.
Yeah.
Blinky. Okay.
Whoa. So these are that's the what? How many is this?
This is the 24
24.
ring, and this is the 12 ring.
12 ring. Wow. Those are beautiful.
So yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
It's really big. It's not quite bracelet sized.
Yeah.
But I did make like a lighting ring out of this, like a ring light for the camera, because I wanted to try to get more light.
So we're gonna end the show in just a second. I want to see what happens when I turn off these lights with this camera.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't done a.
Yeah, well, it auto white balances, so like, who knows?
It's just really bright.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like a ring.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so we're gonna end the show now. This is our Halloween. Ooh, spooky. Thank you everyone for participating in the show and tell. And thank you,
now you're super spooky.
Everybody for. Yeah, I'm already scary. I don't need that.
It's like a scary rave.
Yeah. Thank you everyone on the
There's
show
like
and
a
tell.
haunted house outside, so there's people screaming.
Everyone who is in the chat, everyone who's watched the show, thank you for supporting Adafruit. If you want to do something nice for Lady Ada, buy something in the store. Code is
pandering.
Code is Beaglebone Black, BBB, just BBB, and that gets you going.
Okay.
All right, so we'll see everybody next week.
I gotta clean this up.
Here's a picture of Mosfet.
For my birthday, I want an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah.
Wait.
And then here is your moment of Zener.